Couldn't have written it any better. And
No.
actually, you can't write it now because there's a fucking writer's strike, for God's sake.
Oh, jeez. That's why we got to get to the bottom of this.
The Writers Guild is on strike. Now, WWE writers are not, I would imagine, are non-union, right?
I would be surprised if they're not indentured servants.
But you know what? I mean, Freddie Prinze was there. He's obviously a SAG member.
Yeah, but I don't think that. Like, one of the big things lately is a lot of people are doing, like, they're joining this other group, and it's like they're just saying fuck it to SAG, because the SAG has become such a shit fucking union.
Well, when did we strike last? What year was the fucking SAG strike? I'll look this up here quick. But I remember that one of the core issues.
I can't believe you don't know that offhand. You fucking.
I know.
You
Okay,
Hollywood.
2007.
You Hollywood fucking Democrat motherfucker.
It all runs together after a while.
Because when it comes down to it, all you and I want in life is to fucking be over with the fucking Democrats so we can get Hollywood jobs. Because I'm so pissed after my first 7 series got canceled. You fucking assholes.
The strike was 2007, but before that, I remember every 3 years when the contract would come up, and particularly like in the early 2000s, I'd begin to get incensed because the one sticking point for us was cable. Now, I'm going to compare that to what's going on now with the writers for any of the lay people, but
that's they're getting hosed on that streaming.
Okay, so I'm going to draw a comparison between when cable came in and when they finally incorporated it into a SAG contract. It was a bit of an experimental outlet for content. HBO was airing the movies that were in the theater a year after that, but there were not 500 channels as options.
No.
So yes, a cable contract was considered experimental, the scale was lower, and we gave away a lot of reruns so that cable companies could recoup money and get the cable thing going. In the late 70s, early 80s, when you had just a few, you had HBO, WHT, Wometco Home Theater, if I remember correctly, was the other big channel competing with HBO. They never changed the language in these contracts, Kevin.
No.
So in 98, 99, 2000, I'm doing Sex in the City, 5-10 episodes a year, and we're still on a contract where cable, HBO, Sex in the City, Sopranos, is being considered experimental. So that was the big push in the early 2000s to get this shit treated, the programming, like regular network content. There was such a big divide between network pay, not necessarily for the first check, but in residuals.
Right.
The difference between network and cable. And because it was this antiquated system where cable was considered experimental into the 90s and 2000s. Today, streaming is still treated like the bastard stepchild of lesser entertainment and of lesser value to networks. Well, you look at the studios now, you look at the television networks now, the bread and butter's becoming the streaming submissions. So this is what one of the things the writers are asking for an update for, that streaming has got to be considered in the valuations that are happening right now. So that's a nutshell explanation for anybody that may be.
Well, that was when when things started to go into the streaming, and all of a sudden it was Hulu, and there was this and that. And it was just like, and you could see that the DVD sales were pretty much done.
Oh.
Then it became what was the term they used?
Electronic sell-through?
Yeah. Electronics, and you're going like, oh, okay, and I'm sure that's going to be an easy audit.
That 87 cents you just got you traded your what used to be $800-900 for a DVD.
It's almost like when you get that residual, that pink check residual.
The foreign.
Yeah. Oh my God. Really? And all of Italy, I made 90 cents.
Italy, Germany, Sweden. Switzerland, and
it's
the entire check. They bundle all the countries in Europe, and it's like
And it's-
$298.
yeah, it's unbelievable. It's just like fucking go buy a bottle of Opus. You're done.
But did you ever have to strike in any of the unions that you were in? Like walk the picket line. You struck for SAG in 2007. You couldn't take work, but did you have to walk the line?
The only they took a place I was working at, which was American Sunroof Corporation, which was a Teamster run shop, and they came in and broke the union, and took the shop non-union while I was working in quality.
Mm.
And that was pretty much it for me.
Did it stay that way?
It went non-union. Yeah, I was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I walked the line once for 2 days. It's kind of fun.
I wasn't gonna like. They'd have these meetings, man, and I'd be telling the shop foreman, like, like what people were flipping and everything else. Like I was like the fucking mole.
You had all the info. You had all the...
Yeah, because they thought I was fucking on their team and I was with the union. Because if anybody was going to take a fucking Molotov cocktail on the side of their car, it wasn't going to be me.
So the writer's strike will affect certain networks more than others. So if we take a second and we can look at let me drop this in here so that we can get this on the screen for everyone. We'll see which of the streamers and which networks would be impacted by this. Now, we're gauging this. Let's go down to A&E being the first one. We're gauging this by how much scripted and unscripted content is on the network. Now, that doesn't mean...
All right, we got to make sure we for the people that are listening...
yeah, I'm going to go through it all.
Yeah.
A&E appears that there's going to be very low impact because it's almost entirely focused on unscripted programming, and we'll be able to skirt any impact from the walkout. I think 2 cable shows are 2 shows on the A&E network, cable network, are scripted, and 86 are unscripted. So it seems they will dodge that bullet.
If you're enjoying your WWE Sunday nights, they're there.
But I can't believe... I don't want to drill too far down at this, but nobody on the writing staff at A&E that's writing WWE biography or none of those people are in a union? I don't know. I guess not. Scripted. There's a script that's read.
Well, yeah,
it's not fiction.
But who reads it? Half the time it's cutaways to us, and
I mean, your VO guys have to read something. It's got to be written by someone, or maybe producers.
Yeah, but
writers.
You don't have to be a union person to work on it.
So okay, so that's maybe it then. Okay, so they're able to, even if they had union people writing the documentary copy. Okay, Amazon, medium impact there. You see, Kev, it looks like that there's 6 scripted and 6 unscripted cable. But their streaming service is 55 scripted programs to 34.
They're gonna suck a dick. They'll be running a lot of reruns.
Yeah, with 55 scripted programs. Yeah, so
let's go to HBO. Let's go to somebody let's go to one more. Let's see what we get.
Apple looks like they're in trouble. High 39 scripted programs to 12 unscripted. Disney's streaming network will take a hit at 70 to 36. 70 scripted to 36 unscripted.
Yeah, but they have so much fucking... Their library is... Disney's going to be fine.
Netflix also
Those kids will watch Frozen fucking all day long, 33 times.
Netflix, 283 scripted to 156 unscripted. So that'll be considerable impact. 286 shows.
Depending on where they're getting it from, is it Fauda from coming from fucking Israel? Is it, like,
well, that's what'll happen too. They'll begin to
Exactly.
buy catalogs.
Absolutely.
You ever see when there's a huge dump of like foreign shows? I feel like I'm elsewhere when
I call it Thursday.
Like 27 Indian shows show up as new programming on my Netflix. Let's see about HBO. Let's see. HBO. It's funny, I don't see HBO listed here, but in this particular...
there it is right there.
Did I skip it?
It's Warner Brothers.
Oh, Warner. Let me see. Where are they down the bottom? Okay. Warner Brothers specifically is perfectly placed to ride out a content shutdown. Scripted output from cable networks accounts for just 7% of total content, and half of that is from HBO. And
but a lot of if you read up there, I'm sorry, it excludes kid content. Okay, I don't say that fucking
Yeah, but they're getting from HBO. What about HBO proper, like the HBO Max app?
Well, I mean, how many movies are just like you can go to the search, and just you can fucking pull up movies and all kind of shit. So, and you can watch The Sopranos, all that shit.
I remember when reality shows first started to get. I was on a set of what was I in? The second Shyamalan thing I did.
Wasn't Real World like one of the first reality shows?
Real World on MTV. So that was
Right.
kind of a kooky contract anyway. It was reality and it was MTV. So I mean, whatever. There was a lot of weird shit on there. Oh yeah, Unbreakable, of course. So I'm on the set of Unbreakable, and Survivor's getting popular, and I start to hear the chatter about what an anomaly it is. Like, doesn't that suck? Like no, do people actually watch that? And the concern, clearly, from the folks that I was listening to, was that you didn't have to use SAG actors. I guess I don't know what the WGA's take on it was, but particularly SAG, I guess, was the concern that because this was a documentary, I don't even know if the term reality programming had been coined yet at that point, because that was the first network reality show, which was like a game show. They were treating it like Wheel of Fortune. They were contestants. And then after that, you started to see all the knockoffs, Temptation Island and all these things. And then it began to swell, and then it became an issue for SAG. Then I started to remember in SAG discussions hearing about the proliferation of reality programming.
Do you watch any reality programming?
I am very fond of the First 48, which is an A&E show, which shows
That's the murder one.
Yeah, the first 48 hours of a murder investigation. And I do enjoy the live Friday and Saturday night video from Daytona Beach. OP Live, On Patrol Live.
My buddy Joey Biggs he's huge on that.
I sent you a picture this weekend. They're like, all right, we're down in Daytona where it's Jeep Week. I'm like, what the fuck? Every week there's some bullshit that lets people walk around the streets loaded.
Every fucking week. And pretty soon they'll all have guns. I can't wait.
July, right? It'll be
July
booze
1st.
and rifles and handguns.
It's going to look like the Revolutionary War when they go to Daytona Beach.
Fucking International Speedway is going to be like